Alrighty, thank you. And that concludes our town meeting. Now we have to set the agenda for the next town meeting.
I have just a couple of items. I have a representative from the Chamber of Commerce would like to come make a presentation. Unfortunately, I forget the gentleman's name. He said about a 15 to 20-minute presentation. Number two, the holiday parking for consideration. The revised ethics procedures for consideration. I believe there was just a handful of changes that the board would like to see. This item number 4, I'm going to put on the agenda. We may have to withdraw it because it depends on the state. We have an amended records retention policy for consideration. We sent what you approved to the state. They made a few minor changes, and we're still waiting for one section to come back. If we get their review back, then we will bring it in December. If not, I'll send an email out asking to withdraw it.
What was the nature of their changes, may I ask?
Yeah.
Language changes, not year changes. They just had a few language changes. We weren't specific enough on a few areas. For example, if we said retain for 1 year, we should have said retain for 1 year, then destroy, instead of just saying retain for 1 year. So basically, there was more just language change. It made it a little bit more specific.
Thank you.
Time frame.
So they took 3 months to decide that. And so if we hear back from them before the next meeting, I'll bring it. If not, I'll send out an email with the mayor's permission to withdraw it from the December meeting. And that's all I have.
What about the B2 quality tire?
I don't know that we'll have an answer by then. We can put it on, and if we do have an answer, we'll be more than happy to bring it back. Because you're looking at, unfortunately, with the holiday week in there, with, the town attorney being out, we can do our best to bring it back. Let me put it that way. So if you wanted to see it on the agenda, we can put it on, and if we don't have an answer, we can withdraw it. Would you like to see that in ordinance? How would you like to see it? Ordinance form or just presentation for discussion?
Probably not going to be ready, but I would really love to, if you could, I guess I'll just look in the code book under the B2, right? To get what the language is.
What we can do is, if we have input from staff and John Clapp and the state, we can come back with some recommendations for discussion, and then the board can decide what direction they want to go in, or I don't want to put this gentleman off too long.
Yeah.
So we could do a discussion of presentation on the trailers related to B2 zoning. Does that sound?
And if we're not ready, we'll just move it to the next one.
Then we can email you and let you know. We can always give you a presentation. It may not be everything, but we can always give you what we have, if that's what the board would like.
In the spirit of the holidays, we're trying to keep it a light
Yeah.
schedule.
Mr. Sweeney, you got one more?
Yes, Commissioner O'Donnell.
Is it okay? All right.
Yes.
We have a $40,000 RTP grant for the multi-user trail. My hope is to update the board on the grant status and ask the board to consider directing staff to manage the grant.
Can we do that administrative business?
No, because
it'd
it would be
something
an
for-
action item.
Yeah, it'd be for consideration.
So it'll be 6.
Which one do you want? Rock, paper,
There goes the
scissors.
spirit of keeping it light. There we
Not
go.
on me, sir. Not on me.
The Grinch. Well,
Not I.
but just in the spirit of that, just to put it out there, that we don't have a big staff to manage these things, and we've gone around with this a couple times on that, and I'll be glad present it, but we don't have people here to just take on that right now.
And in the same holiday spirit, we have $4 free for every $1 we spend in a great grant. So,
Well, we talked about before, Mr. O'Donnell, we said that your operation moveon.org, or what was it? What is it? What is it? More?
More.
It was always that Moore would manage that. In the discussions you and I had, that's
Mr.
where I
Mayor?
left it. That's where I left it.
you and I recall that differently. I will,
Ah, there we go.
you and I recall that differently. However,
We do not have the staff right now to take on the management of that grant up there right now. If you want him to go after grants for MS4 downtown,
well, let's ask Mr. Sweeney if we can get this on the agenda and put it in front of the board, if Mr. Sweeney would allow that, and maybe we can discuss it as a board.
Would the board like this to be on the, for discussionary item?
Yes.
On the-
Sure.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Can you need the language again, please?
Sure. To update the board on the RTP grant status, the $40,000 RTP grant status, and ask the board to consider directing staff to manage the grant.
it's on property that is outside our corporate limits. We own the property, but keep that in mind. These are some of the arguments I'm coming back at with the same ones I presented to you when we were driving around the car several times. And I never got that feeling from you that you disagreed with that, but that's fine. Okay. I never got that.
Okay, well,
all righty.
I do.
That's 6 items. I think that's enough for the December.
Yeah.
Six is fine.
Is there anything for administrative?
The holiday parking will go quickly. I'm just being positive here. We'll knock that out in a minute.
Oh,
Are you sure?
Yes.
no administrative,
No.
no consent agenda.
No.
Agenda. Okay.
Make a motion.
I need a motion to accept the, our consent that the agenda is set for December 4th. Would be, number 1 would be Chamber of Commerce presentation.
Yes. Oops, I put my notes
Number 2 would be, holiday parking
for consideration.
consideration. Number 3 would be ethics, procedures.
Amended ethics procedures for consideration.
Number 4 would be,
Records retention.
records retention policy,
For consideration.
for consideration. Number 5 would be B2, discussion on trailer ordinance. And number 6 would be our RBT grant discussion with staff managing it, correct? $40,000 RBT grant, possibly be managed by the staff.
Yes, sir.
For discussion.
For discussion.
and Consideration.
Correct.
Yeah. All in favor? Say aye.
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 Any nays? Agenda set. I need a motion to adjourn the town meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the town meeting.
Second that.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Ritz, second by Commissioner Buckman. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, aye. Any nays?
Time.
Time is 10:45.
Vote tomorrow.